Hey everyone, it's Emily. Welcome back on my channel. Today's video is going to be all about the books that I'm hoping to read this month. I gave myself a few options, but I'm kind of in the middle of so many books. But if I don't finish them this month, next month for sure, my goal is going to be to just finish off the books that I've already started, because it's getting to a point where I have like more currently reading than like TBR pal type of books. Not gonna happen. So, but by the way, two of them that I started and didn't finish this month yet. There is Jane Eyre that I'm listening to the audiobook, and I have like 2-3 hours left, so like I need to just finish it. I'm also in the middle of the Song of Achilles, which so far I'm liking, but it's a bit slow paced, so we'll see. But I have a pile right here of books that I want to just start and hopefully finish this month. So let's go through them. The first one is something that I bought last month and I've just been dying to read it. And it is I Am Legend by Richard Matheson. And I have seen the movie and I didn't know it was a book. I bought the book and I have been wanting to read it because a lot of people were saying that it's very different. I think it's like vampires instead of zombies or something like that, according to the cover. But I just want to know, it shouldn't be too long. There's less than is there 300 pages? But since it's a mass market paperback, it shouldn't take me too long. But I've just been really wanting to read it because I really like the movie. I love the whole like premise of like being the last person on the planet, so it needs to happen. I've been like getting so many books that are like post-apocalyptic, but I haven't been reading them yet, so this is definitely the first one I'm hoping to get to. The next book, again, is something that I bought last month, and when I hauled it, I didn't realize how so many people were interested or I'd read it. By the way, if I can't talk, it's because I still have the flu, so sorry. I'm doing my best. And this is this book. This is The Female of the Species by Mindy Mcginnis, and that cover is so bright, it's gonna be like perfect in my like rainbow-ish shelf. But I didn't realize, like when I bought it, it was only because I had seen a lot of great reviews, not necessarily knowing too much about it, because I don't like to know too much about a book before reading it. But so many people were talking about it, and I'm realizing this is like a lot more serious than I thought it was, because you would think with the cover and a title it shouldn't be too like, but no, it's about really serious topic. I know it's about also rape, and I believe it's yeah, it happens in high school. So basically, I feel like I had described it in that haul, now I can't remember, but I believe her sister was raped or something like that. Anyway, I guess I'll find out whenever I read it, but I have heard that this is like a really hard read, but a really like great one, so yeah. Next one was, I'm pretty sure it was my last TBR, and I still haven't read it, so needs to happen. I think I might try to do one of those like read a chapter, try a chapter type of tag. Would you like to see this? I could definitely do one of those for like really popular YA books, because there's 2 currently in my TBR, but I have a few more in like my big TBR pile, so let me know. I can definitely do this. I don't know if there's even chapters for this one though. We'll make it work. But I know I still haven't read it. This is Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, and I know I need to read it. I really want to, but I was traveling a lot, and this isn't like the most travel-friendly type of book, so I have not read it. I'm still intrigued by it. I still want it to happen. If you don't know, which I doubt, this is basically a YA sci-fi. I believe there's a love story in there too, but it doesn't really happen as like the classic format. It's basically all emails, interviews and stuff, and yeah. I feel like a lot of people like this, even people that usually don't necessarily love YA ended up liking it, so I'm curious to see how I will feel about it, because YA can be, well, I mean, more like love story YA can be like really hit and miss for me, so yeah. I could include it in my try a chapter, but is there even like chapters? Should I like choose like, oh, read the first like 30-50 pages instead? Let me know. But I'm always excited to read more sci-fi. So the next one, it would not be basically a TBR without at least one Brandon Sanderson's book. I feel like every month since I started my channel, almost, I have read a Brandon Sanderson book, so you know, take it as it is. I've been wanting to read this one. This is Elantras by Brandon Sanderson. I wasn't sure if I wanted to start this one or continue the other YA series that he had, the second book being Firefight. But I read the novella in between book 1 and 2 last month, and I feel like it's not my favorite series from him. I will definitely continue it eventually, but just this one seemed more intriguing, and as you can see, I did start it, so I guess I already took that decision for myself. I read the first like 50, 60 pages, 70 pages. And when I started, I didn't realize it's actually going to be a trilogy, but the second book only comes out in 2020 and the third one in 2022, so I don't like starting series whenever like it's going to take a really long time to publish the next one. But I believe in Brandon Sanderson. If he says that they're going to be coming out at that time, they probably will. But yeah. Anyway, like I said, I already started it, and I'm fascinated by how good he is at creating worlds that are completely different from each other. I feel like sometimes authors either always have the same universe because they can't create different ones, or every time they have a new one, you feel like it's heavily inspired by something else. Not him. Super different. In this one, from what I know, I don't know much so far, but there's different countries, cities at war. One of those cities basically got cursed, maybe, Elantras. It was like the most beautiful city where people were basically seen as gods, and they just started getting really sick and dying, and just everything went to crap. And in that world, one thing that fascinated me is that, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see, but there's those little like circle thingies. There's those like companion, I guess, to some characters. Not everyone can have them, but they're basically their own entities, and you can communicate between some of them. So like, for example, if one person has one here and like someone else has one over there, then they can talk through it, and it's basically its own person too. Well, person. And yeah, so far I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I believe this was supposed to be also a romance, but I'm intrigued. So far I'm liking it a lot, so kind of happy I chose this one, but I need to get to the one eventually. But yeah, if you were still not sure about reading Brandon Sanderson, I say, what are you doing? Read Mistborn, and then so far I'm liking this one, so why not this one too? Every time I talk about this book, everyone tells me I should read like The Way of Kings. I'm like, I know, but I'm keeping it for last, so. So you know how I said that I wanted to read some of the popular YA books? So if you want to see that video again, this one will probably be in there. It's this one. This is Throat Wish. Oh my god, with my throat I really can't say it. Throat Wish. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. That word. By Susan Dennard. And in this world, again, fantasy YA book where there is the main character who can tell whenever someone is lying. So since it's a pretty rare power, everyone wants to just use her. And I've heard that there's a great, oh my god, I've heard that there's a great female friendship in there, which I'm always into those great friendships. And I've been wanting to, again, read it for myself and decide if I like it as much as everybody else does. So yeah, definitely gonna include that in the video. I'm trying to think other books. Which one do you want to see in that video too? I could definitely include like Vampire Academy, which I have still not read. And there's a few books that you will see in my next haul that could work. But if you've seen me haul a book that you would like to see in that video, just see me read the first chapter so I can decide if I want to read it ASAP, because one of them will be read in that video, but like maybe they will just start being like higher on my TBR pile. Anyway, so I've been wanting to read it, so hopefully, again, this month could happen, maybe. More sci-fi, because there's no such thing as too much sci-fi. This one is Sleeping Giants by Sylvain Neuvel, and Canadian author, Quebec author, always into that. The cover is amazing, and I believe the back sheet, oh yeah, here you go. This is the back. How cool is this? I don't know a lot about it. It's just like, I believe someone just finds basically the hand of a giant robot. Yeah, there's a girl that falls into like a huge crack, and then she wakes up at the bottom and there's a hand, basically a giant metal hand, and turns out I believe it's a huge robot, which again, but basically sci-fi, so I'm assuming aliens or just, you know, something happens, and I'm excited to read it. The second one just came out too, so I just want to get to it. And last but not least, one of my goals this year, even though I don't know if I mentioned it in my like goal videos, but I want to like not start so many series without finishing them. So I want to finally finish this one. Also, I'm just really curious to see how it's going to end. And it is The Beauty of Darkness by Mary E. Pearson. It's the last book in the Remnant Chronicles series. I really like the first book, A Kiss of Deception, where you're following a princess that just decides to run away the day of her wedding, and then there's two guys going after her. There's a prince she was supposed to marry, and then there's an assassin. You don't know who is who. I enjoyed it. It's definitely a romance-heavy book in a fantasy world. The second book did feel a little like, you know, that middle book that is just like the transition. It felt a little bit like this. There was quite a bit of political intrigue and everything. I enjoyed it. I feel like the romance wasn't to the point where I'm not big on romance, that, you know, it was too much for me. But I want to know how it ends. And this thing is huge, so hopefully a lot more action happens in this one. And I'm not even sure how I want it to end, so I'm curious to see if I'm going to be happy with it or not. I feel like there's so many more books that I want to add to my TBR, but there's only so many books one person can read every month. I'm gonna go because my throat is starting to really hurt. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to let me know if you have any opinion on these books. Let me know especially if I do end up doing that like tri-chapter, like popular YA books, if there's any books that you've seen me talked about but haven't read yet that you would like me to include in there. That's where I was going. There's a few more books that I have not shown yet in a haul, so these could probably be in there too. But yeah, plus let me know if I include this one in that video. I don't think there's chapters, so like what do I do, like 30, 50 first pages? Let's vote, that way I'll be able to do that video. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and to subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.